What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So Democrats have momentum on their side when it comes to the midterm election, and Republicans are showing some concern. Let me show you this article from Politico. And Politico says here, we lose the midterms. Republicans worried Iran might have already cost them Congress. And some Republicans, they're relieved that we have this ceasefire going on right now. And if you want to call this ceasefire, there's still bombs going off in both countries and in Lebanon. And so is this really a ceasefire? That's going to be up to the voters to decide. But when it comes to Republicans in Congress, they're nervous. They were nervous before this because of the economy, because of inflation. And now with this war in Iran, now they're even more concerned because inflation is going up even higher. We're seeing gas prices now starting to increase. We're seeing prices of other items starting to increase. And we're in this situation with Iran where there's really, there could be no end in sight. We don't know what a victory looks like because we don't know what the mission is. And getting back to this article, it says Republicans are relieved over Trump's step toward reconciliation in Iran, but they are worried the measures are too little, too late to save them from a brutal midterm election cycle. And so the damage is already done. If you look at the polling, look at the polling on this war in Iran, look at the polling even before this war in Iran. And you saw that people, the voters, they were saying, look, we need change. We need something else because we're not getting what we were promised. We're not getting these lower prices. We're not getting the promise of no new wars. And so people were already upset when they saw some of the different things going on. And now they're even more upset because it's hitting their pocketbooks. And you have a person from the White House that was speaking out and says this war in Iran almost cements the fact that we lose the midterms in November, the Senate and House. And so not only are Republicans afraid of losing the House, but now they're afraid of losing the Senate too. And this has been something we've been talking about when it comes to the Senate. Democrats now have a pathway forward to win control of the Senate. And I've shown you that pathway in the past, and that pathway is continuing to get stronger and stronger because now we're seeing some states that we weren't even talking about before, like Texas. We're seeing those states now come into the toss-up category where Tallarico has an opportunity to beat either Cornyn or Paxton. We're now saying that, whereas just 4 or 5 months ago, we weren't even talking about Texas. But now Texas is on the map, and mainly because of the climate, mainly because of the things that are going on. And you have independent voters now that are looking at all the different situations that are going on right now, and they're saying they want something else. They want something different. Some of these independent voters voted for Trump, and now either they're not eager to vote in the midterm election or they want to vote for something else. They want to vote for a Democrat because they want some type of checks and balances on the president, which we're not seeing right now. We're not getting that right now. The president can do what he wants. He has no pushback. And we are seeing signs of this. You're seeing Republicans underperform in these special elections. That is a sign that we're going to see a flip. That is a sign that we're going to see change because Democrats are doing better in a lot of these races than Republicans are. And Democrats are actually flipping some of these Republican seats. And so that shows you where the voters are. Even if they are voting for Republicans, we're seeing Democrats in these districts, like in Georgia, outperform what the president did and outperform what Marjorie Taylor Greene did just 2 years ago. And we're not talking about by a little bit. Marjorie Taylor Greene beat Harris by 29 points. But just this week, Harris lost by less than 15 points. And so what this is showing us, it's showing us that Democrats do have that momentum. They do have the wind at their backs. And Republicans are now, they're struggling. They're struggling to find a way when it comes to defending President Trump's record. I talked about this. I talked about this 5 months ago. This midterm election is going to be a referendum on the president and the president's record. And you have a lot of Republicans out there right now trying to figure out how they're going to defend this record. How are they going to defend going to wars? How are they going to defend the cost of products at the grocery store? How are they going to defend gas prices? How are they going to do this? Right now, what they're saying is it's short term. It's short term. It's going to end very soon. The prices are going to go back down. But guess what? If they don't, then all these politicians that are saying this is short-term pain, if in November we're seeing the prices still elevated, these same politicians are going to have to face the music. And they could lose their seats. And just to show you what Republicans are up against in the midterm election when it comes to the House, Republicans right now, give or take, they're going to have about 220 seats. You have a couple of seats that are still open right now. We're going to see some more special elections. With Democrats, they're at 215. Democrats only need 3 seats to take back control of the House. They only need to win 3 seats or net 3 seats. And so with Democrats having the wind at their backs, can they net these 3 seats? It's likely that Democrats will be able to net 3 seats and take back control of the House. And I don't think there are too many experts out there that are arguing that Democrats won't be able to take back the House. But with the Senate, they are saying it's going to be tough. And I'm saying the same thing when it comes to the Senate map. It's not going to be easy for Democrats to take back control of the Senate, but they do have a pathway. And when we're looking at the current map, we're seeing states like Maine, North Carolina, Ohio, Texas, Alaska. These states are now, they're too close to call. They're pretty much a toss-up right now. And so if Democrats can flip a few of these seats, and remember, they need to net 4. So if they can flip 4 of these seats, they can take back control of the Senate. And so the bottom line here, even though you do have some Republicans that do not want to speak out about the situation that they feel that they're in, you have some Republicans that are out there, and some Republicans in secret, they're saying this: look, we have a problem. We know that we're probably going to lose the House. We could potentially lose the Senate. And what is that going to mean? You even have the president out there saying, look, we can't lose the House. We can't lose the Senate, because if we do, that'll be the end of my administration. And so even the president is acknowledging the fact that Democrats have the wind at their backs. So we're just going to have to see what happens in November. But just right now, looking at the polling, the president's job approval is underwater. It's been underwater. It was pretty much underwater all last year. He did have one point when he first came into office in January and February where his polling numbers weren't bad, but they started going down, and they just kept going down. And the main reason for this is the promises that the president made. He made a lot of promises, and realistically, what promises has he kept? I mean, the only real promise that you could say that he kept is when he talked about immigration. He was going to try to deport everyone, and that is what he's trying to do now. But that even backfired on him, because polling for immigration, he was in the positive, but now he's in the negative. He's underwater when it comes to immigration because of the way that he's handling the situation of deporting people. And so I want to know what you guys think about all this. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think the president's taking the wrong approach? Do you think this will impact the midterm election? Let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more. And remember, stay informed, stay engaged, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.